Hello, Brianna.
Hi, Seth.
Thank you for joining me today.
You're welcome.
Today, I would like to talk to you about capital punishment. What are your views of capital punishment? What's your stance on it?
I think capital punishment should be used in certain cases. It seems the most fair method of punishment, and it has a lot of benefits, and obviously there's a lot of downfalls to it too, but there's downfalls to most forms of punishment. So I think, it should be used.
All right, so you think it's the most effective
Right.
form of punishment?
Or the thought that you could be executed if you commit this crime. Maybe that would stop people from.
Okay, so a bit of prevention, actually.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go into more the crimes that could be committed, which would deserve this type of prevention punishment.
Right,
maybe?
right. Definitely murder, like serial murder, maybe serial rapists, assault like that. Definitely child abuse, child sexual abuse, things that really hurt people like that. So like if you're gonna steal like a candy bar from a gas station, obviously you should be put to death. So it should be, it should be thought through about what crimes are committed and how. And each crime that's committed is different than any other crime, so you'd have to look at it case by case.
Okay, so you think that each individual case should be looked at?
Right.
Correct. How do you think every state should choose their own laws on it, or do you think it should be a federal thing?
I think with most topics like capital punishment or remarriage or abortion, like they give it to the state because they don't want to make a federal decision about it. But I think it would probably be most effective to do it at the federal level because people are just going to go to different states to commit crimes, right? So if you the whole crossing state borders thing, like if you go commit a crime in Missouri, but then you live in, Texas, and Texas has a death penalty and Missouri doesn't, then what happens,
Right.
Who has control over that?
Right. How do you feel about the types of techniques?
As far as I know in the U.S., lethal injection and electric chair are used, more so lethal injection, and I think that's probably the most humane way to do it. In other countries, I know they probably do like shooting or beheading or torture, and I think, that's their beliefs and that's fine, but I think since death punishment already is such a taboo in America that things like that would probably put people over the edge and it would definitely not be allowed.
Right. So you're more in favor of a humane way of killing, is that correct?
Right.
Versus other countries around the world, it's more of a primitive approach, possibly?
Not necessarily primitive because it's not like they're inferior, but just that we put such a big deal on it versus that probably happens more than once a day over there, That's how they've been dealing with their criminals for hundreds and hundreds of years, and we're a relatively new country. So.
All right. How do you think you can't come to this opinion? Do you have a certain spiritual belief, certain religion that you feel this way, or your family upbringing, possibly?
My mom, I'm just kidding, but I think no religious beliefs that make me feel this way. I would classify myself as an atheist, so it's not like the sinning a part of it makes it against my opinion. Maybe spiritual, just that life should be fair, and that's an attempt at making life fair for everyone. And that it just seems like if someone's willing to hurt someone as much as they can hurt someone, crimes committed, and they're prosecuted, that in certain cases they should be executed because they've caused a lot of pain to not only that person but people around them also.
All right. How do you feel about people with disabilities getting death penalty?
Like mental illness?
Mental illnesses.
I think it goes case by case again. Obviously, it's they choose that in the courts, like pleading insanity and things like that, and obviously there's a lesser sentence for those people, but they're still a danger to the public. And I think if, their mental illness runs alongside of them being a psychopath and doing things that hurt lots of people and that they can't handle it in prison, then they should be put to death because it's still a crime, And people are going to start to claim mental illness if they are up to the death penalty, how do you differentiate? And, even though it's still unfair to those people because they were born that way, it's still like, does that mean you can let them run around and kill people just because they have mental illness?
So I'm hearing you say that it's more important to protect this side than decide if it's fair or not, or decide if the mental illness is what's causing the deaths or the...
I mean, obviously if it could be treated, that would be the first line of
Right.
approach, but I mean, a lot of times you can't really treat a psychopath because they're missing something about it.
Right. How do you feel about the death penalty? Let's say that it's a man's been prosecuted for something 20 years ago. He's on death row, and he gets killed, lethal injection or what have you. Do you think it's right that there's a chance that he might be proven innocent and still get? Do you think that that chance that you're innocent is worth killing possible innocent people?
I think that doesn't happen in the majority of the cases, and I mean, when people plan to put someone on death row, obviously the investigation seems pretty clear that someone did it, and if they're in prison for 20 years and they all of a sudden realize he's innocent, or there's bigger problems, right? So I think the costs outweigh the benefits outweigh the costs. So I don't know the percentage, but it seems like less than 1% of the cases probably are wrongfully executed, right?
Yeah. So you think the majority is worth the few guys that like that?
Right.
Okay.
I guess.
To summarize there, you think that, I just want to clarify, that capital punishment is good because it serves as a type of preventative for people that may be scared to kill somebody or rape somebody.
I mean, if they're a psychopath, obviously that's not going to stop them.
Right. But that overall it's just a good preventive measure.
Right.
And that it's more effective than other punishments because it's definite. Is that what everyone means?
Right.
Okay. Well, I think that about wraps up. All right, thank you, Brianna.
You're welcome, Seth.
Thanks.